Here we go. It's cool because like everyone's still sleeping.
Yeah, I know. That's a saving grace. Okay, we are actually live. So yeah, hey. Here with Lisa D'Amato. Tell me how you say your last name properly, because I'm sure I'm probably messing up.
I just say Lisa D'Amato. It's Lisa D'Amato, but like
Yeah.
that would be so annoying.
Not in Europe though. People expect that in Europe. They would get it.
Yeah.
Where's the name from? Is it Italy?
Yeah, my family's from San Nicola La Strada, which is right outside of Naples, and then I'm Spanish on my mom's side and Danish.
Amazing, amazing. All right. So it's what?
I did Ancestry.com, and I'm also like Greek. Have you done that? I'm like Greek.
I've got such boring ancestry though. There'd be no point for me.
Really? So tell me what you are, Ebony.
Like literally just Scottish on both sides. That's it.
I didn't know if it was Irish or Scottish, and I didn't.
Yeah, no, just Scottish. That's it.
You're a beautiful Scottish lady with beautiful, beautiful red hair and beautiful eyes.
Okay, it was all right in LA to be Scottish. They quite liked us over there, so I didn't mind that at all. It's very good. All right, so I'm just going to get my little questions up as well.
Okay. They were good questions.
Getting quite deep.
Last night, and they were so good. I was like, wow, these are things. Okay.
Yeah, probably not the ones you're used to be asked about your hair and your makeup and how you look good and all that sort of stuff.
I prefer your questions. I prefer your questions, the things that matter. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I thought you would get it. All right, amazing. So yeah, I guess we are actually going live just now, and there seems to be a couple of people on. Okay. So guess we can just get started. So I don't even know where to start. I mean, I met Lisa when I first arrived in LA. I was about, I don't know, 24 or something like that, working for Robert Labetta for Sebastian, who is my mentor. He always has been. And we just did the most crazy shoots at that with him. It was always like an adventure. And I was a wardrobe stylist. I used to do post-production as well. But we were casting for a photo shoot, and you know, you get all these beautiful models with this gorgeous long hair and quite quiet sort of people, and then in walks Lisa. And Lisa at the time had a shaved head and a huge personality, and it was just like she just bowled everyone over. Like I think everyone was just like, oh my goodness, who's this person that just walked in, and just inspired everybody so much. And I know Robert and Michael and everyone in the team was just like, they just couldn't get you out their head, so they just had to create a whole photo shoot and like world tour based around.
I've heard this before, Ebony. I've never heard this. So wait, can we pause right there? Can I tell you my side?
Yeah.
So I had been going to Sebastian's castings like 5, 6 a year, because they have them all the time, as you remember.
Yeah.
I've been modeling since I was 12, 13, like 12, and then, you know, got a really great agent, you know, like a real modeling agent, like at 15. So from 15 on, I went to Sebastian's like 5, 6 times a year. Never got booked ever. And I was like, it got to the point where you're like 19, 20, that you're like, fuck this shit, I'm going to Sebastian's again, you know? And my agency, we just rebuilt my whole book, and I had short, like dark hair in my whole book. And then Kenya at New was like, I'm sending you to Sebastian's. And I was like, well, just so you know, Kenya, I shaved my head last night. And she's like, what? And I was like, she's like, we just rebuilt your entire book. Like, you shaved your head, and now you have a hair casting, and now you can't go because you're bald. And she's like, if you're going to this casting bald, and if they don't hire you, then I have to let you go.
Oh my God, I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I didn't book Sebastian's, which was a hair company. Being bald, my agent told me that they were going to drop me.
Oh my God, I've literally got shivers. That's insane. I mean, models don't even get to like trim their hair or color their hair at all, and you've just like shaved your head and walked.
And then like created a whole series for Sebastian. And you got, like, at the time, I shaved my head, and I did it on a dare. Obviously, I do everything crazy. But I remember that I shaved my head, and the moment you look at yourself in the mirror bald, I was like, and I don't want to sound like, I'm just going to be honest, okay? I was like, my head is perfect. And I was like, my ears are so tight.
Oh,
I was like, I am beautiful right now. And I remember telling Kenya, I was like, wait, but even if I don't book Sebastian's, you have to let me just to come in there and you have to see this. Like, it looks so good. You just don't know unless you shave your head, like what your ears actually look like and like the shape. So I actually remember going into Sebastian's being really confident. I was like, look at this. You can glue stuff. I never said that, but like you can do that. Like, I don't know. So that's great to hear that. I've heard that story.
Oh yeah, no, you blew everyone away. And then, you mentioned glue there. I mean, that's what we ended up doing, wasn't it? I mean, I ended up working with you in wardrobe, and wardrobe really consisted of glue and zippers and gluing into your body. I mean, it was absolutely mental. It was such a crazy.
So you guys, I was with Ebony traveling around the world for like a year, different, breaks, obviously.
Yeah.
And like I was traveling, like they would do these huge hair shows and there'd be zippers literally glued to my hair with like hair pieces between the zippers. And it would get to the point because you have to take that off every single time. And it's a taxing process. Yeah. So I just ended up being like, guys, like, why? Like, I'll just go on the plane like this. Like, who cares? Like, let's fix the little piece. And they're like, you're going to sleep on the plane. Going from like, where were we? We were like in Milan going to like Australia, like that's like so
some big trips. Yeah.
And I didn't care. I was all for the process, the art of it, the beauty of it, like what you guys were creating. So
you were such a trooper. Like I remember we worked with one other model and like it was like 5 minutes she was in tears and left the set.
I was like, just let me do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. And there's some of the best photos. Like I love that photo shoot. It was absolutely insane.
So amazing.
And then your personality, I remember like on stage, like you would just come out on stage and you'd be like so loud and it was fantastic. The personality just came through.
The swing. They brought me out on the huge swing across like a huge like IMAX theater, you guys.
That was in LA, right? The Oscar Theater?
Yeah, and there was one in Europe too. It was that white dress. I don't know
which one that was. There's been so many different. It's all a blur those days. It's all a blur. But it was amazing.
There was this one. I remember. Who is the flamenco dancer? He's my. Do you remember the flamenco dancer?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god, I'm spacing right now. But I just ran into him in LA. And
okay.
I remember we toured on Sebastian's, and he's like, there was a guy sleeping next to you on the plane, and you know how in the magazines I can go on forever. Maybe I'll tell this story at another time.
Well, tell us the story.
It's so, he's like, just to bring me back so specifically, he was like at the in the airplanes, they have the magazines. And at the time it was all Harry Potter, like mugs and stuff for sale. He's like, you tore the pieces of the characters of Harry Potter. And the guy that was sleeping next to you on the plane, he was wearing glasses. You like put it on water and you put the Harry Potter like characters in his glasses. And then you like tapped him and he woke up and all he saw was like Harry Potter guys in his glasses. Then he literally could not stop laughing anytime he was on the plane with us. He was doing things like that. And I was like, that's so horrible. And he goes, no, it was I was peeing. Like I literally peed.
I have some really funny memories as well. And you talking about a plane, I just have to bring this up. This was before 9/11, so obviously it was very different days. But do you remember screaming on the plane as well? And I was like, well, Lisa, what do you scream for? You're like, I just want to see how people would react. And it's just like, what is going on? And I was so quiet. So it was like, I just couldn't believe you were just like, had such this big personality and just had fun with it.
Really. I always had so much fun making people laugh. Like, because rides are so long. I'm the person that also you don't want to go like on a road trip with. I'm that person that I'm singing every single song. I'm like telling stupid dad jokes. Like, yeah.
I think it's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And I know most people do. So yeah, I think it's really, really great. So you were born in the same year as me, I've just realized as well, actually. So but yeah, we're both about the same age when we met. We worked for Robert. We did the photo shoot, the hair photo shoot. Mm-hmm. You're now a wife and a mother. You've become a recording artist. You've been a model. You went on to America's Next Top Model, which we were all very proud to see you on there. And then you won the All Stars America's Next Top Model. I know you're an entrepreneur. You've done different entrepreneurial projects, and I'm probably not even up to date with all that as well. So you can talk about all that. And I know you now live in a castle in the Hollywood Hills.
I know.
So your life has never been boring, has it?
It definitely has not ever been boring, ever. So where should I start?
Well, shall we just go on with the next question, and then you can sort of tap in wherever you want, whatever you feel like saying, just share with us, because it's really, just a wee chat really here, just to get your spirit and like your confidence, and it's so infectious. So I'd love to share that with different people. So I know today's Mother's Day in the Netherlands, and I think it's in Australia as well.
Today in LA too. Today's Mother's Day
in America as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so UK's always different.
Hey, everybody. Yeah.
So you're here with us on Mother's Day. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you for doing that. And so what wisdom have you picked up being a mother? And tell us a little about that journey.
I think motherhood, it makes you a circus wrangler. You end up learning how to multitask at such a like focused point throughout the entire day. Okay, so with my second child, so I had just one boy for 3 years. Technically 2 years, because then I was pregnant, and then for a whole year it feels like you're pregnant. I have the worst pregnancies too. It's so bad. But yeah, you just have to be so focused from the time you get up all the way to the time you go to bed. It's like so insane. I'd say multitasking is what you become a pro at, like immediately, because you will fall so behind. That's why I created that one product. I was on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
It's a 5-in-1 solution to help parents feed their kids on the go. It also has the longest lifespan in the child's life than any product in its territory, 7 months to 7 years, super eco-friendly. So it eliminates 48% of our landfill waste, which is on-the-go packaging. So if you do use that product, then we're helping our future. We're life-proofing our planet for our children. So I'm super proud about. There you go.
Say the name of it again. There, it cut out a wee bit on my end.
There you go. It's
there
like,
you go.
There you go. But instead it's like, there you go. We dare you to go with it, right? So it's like, it's amazing. It's a food grade silicone bib, divider bowl, food catcher, airtight seal, food storage unit, and it comes with a spork, and it's all one piece. So it's awesome. So that helped. I needed it for my own life so bad. That's why I needed more hands,
Yeah. Amazing. I hope all my friends will love that one. Where do you come from originally, Lisa? And what did growing up look like for you? I forgot about your childhood, actually.
I'm born and raised in Southern California. So I was raised in Thousand Oaks, and then my parents got divorced when I was in 3rd grade. And then my dad moved to Hollywood and Inglewood, and then ended up going to Arcadia. So I grew up in all of those areas because I was with my dad every single week, even though we lived with our mom. My mom was super, super toxic in our life, my sister and I's life. My dad was the one that was very much like the parent, So when my mom won the custody battle, it was almost like I had to then meet her, And she was never like motherly. She was incredibly toxic. And so I loved when I got to be with my dad.
Wow.
Weekends. And, everything that happened in my mom's house with her boyfriends, and just like all the abuses that constantly occurred on a daily basis, we hid from our dad because we thought, oh my God, like if he finds out, then not only is that going to break his heart, but also he'll kill them. Then we'll lose him too, because my dad would kill them. So we had this secret life of what we told our father. And then when modeling came in, then I just had to be in Hollywood. So I loved
it. Into you or through your parents, or was it really
what?
Modeling.
Oh, my modeling? Well, it kind of stemmed from I was actually really shy. My sister was super outgoing. And I was super, super shy. And everyone told them that I should start modeling. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I didn't think that I was capable of doing anything that had anything to do with like pretty things, you know? So I think my dad ultimately like wanted me to gain confidence. And so he put me in John Robert Powers. And I think it was also a good distraction from all the things that was happening, you know, like the divorce and whatever, like, you know, like just the constant adjustment in both households. Yeah, and it was just really nice of him, you know. I had to quit gymnastics, which sucked because that's what I really loved. But ultimately, it was kind. It was like my dad, you know, trying to get me out there. And then I think as soon as I started going on castings and stuff, yeah, my dad was just right there by my side, and you know, super shy in front of the camera. But then it got really easy because I was like, wait, what would my sister do?
Oh.
You know? And then I would just be like what my sister would do. And I knew her so well, obviously. So older.
That's amazing that she gave you that. Yeah, that's an amazing gift without even really meaning to. That's incredible.
Yeah, my sister was super cute. This one story is like so cute. So I would go to the casting sometimes, and like all the girls, they arrive in their beautiful little bows out of their Mercedes with their parents, their moms, you know, like with the Chanel purses. And here I am with like in my dad's like huge Ford truck with like boo 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 boo, like you could hear it from like a mile away. And I like just came from like track practice or something, still in like the sweaty hoodie. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not gonna be good. And then after that happened, I didn't have any confidence because I was like, oh my God, they have like the most beautiful glossy headshots, and mine's like a photocopy, you know?
Right.
My sister used to start, she started like taking me to Robinson's May at the time or something. And before each casting, she'd buy me an outfit. And then on the way home after the casting, then we'd return it.
Oh, wow.
Really, really pretty. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, that's amazing. And I bet so many people have that growing up as well in comparison. Such a huge thing now, especially with social media. And we didn't even have that then.
I know.
It's just like, yeah, times a million now, isn't it, for kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're obviously, oh, well, there's so many different questions here. What matters to you most in life?
What matters most in my life is happiness, you know, being present. Like this whole thing, this coronavirus pandemic worldwide, like everything has just stopped. It's so sad what's happening with it, and it's killing people. Obviously, I've made 500 masks myself. Like, what can I do? You know, it makes me always feel like, what else can I do? I just feel like the pain and suffering of so many people. And at the same time, it's like the most amazing time in my life right now, you know?
Yeah.
Stop and like be with my family. And because all you can ever want is time to spend with them. And I'm like, oh God, like I'm loving this so much. And it's at the perfect time too for my boys. Like Venice is 3, so he's already like potty trained, able to put his dishes in the sink. Like he's able to take care of himself a little bit. And my brother helps. I mean, his brother, Daxel, he dresses him in the morning. So they're like, I can do, it's like they can take care of themselves a lot. And it's also the cutest stage where he still says like the silliest sentences, you know, like I feel like I got the most like perfect pause at the most beautiful point in my life. It's so nuts. Isn't that weird?
No, I don't think it is. I think a lot of people are feeling guilty for the gratitude they're feeling just now. And I think it's amazing you've brought that to light as well.
I love it so much. Like, it's almost like I don't want to go back to real life.
Yeah.
I was, you know, nothing was working. In real life, right before this, nothing was working, you know? Like my dad's wife had just passed away, and the banks weren't giving him his money. And then the life insurance policy was like creating so many walls for my dad. And I was like helping him through everything, you know, like the banks are closing like accounts that own smoke shops. you know? And so like that was happening to us because I own a smoke shop. And an influential one, you know, where we're like, you don't have to get cigarettes. You actually have CBD options, you know, with cotton filters, like super influential, super proud of my smoke shop. Dealing with that, like corporately, you know, like I'm suing Jeep because they tried to tell me that the engine blew when it didn't, you know, like I had a friend who like helped with our Jeep and it cost $300. They're like, so for fraud, like our Jeep, I'm in a lawsuit still. Then I had like my Chase Bank, like I have accounts with them, which now they're making us leave because of the smoke shops. But there you go. Like they leave so many accounts open for fraudulent wires. They get like hundreds and 200 like wires a day that they know are fraudulent. They know I know this. Like this is what's been happening this whole year. I've been trying to like do all these great things to prepare for. I got audited. You know, I got audited last year too. And you know that the fight was that when I ripped my face open and I was pregnant, that I had too many tax write-offs for modeling. And I'm like, but I was still doing all these things, you know? It's just the world wasn't working. I was like, I was pregnant. And they're like, sorry. I'm like, that's sexist. Nothing was working. This whole world was imploding. My heart was screaming for the world to fucking stop and look at itself. And it's fucking crazy that it did. And I think all of us have been feeling that way. All of us. I feel like I think we made this earth shake. I don't know if it's in a lab or fucking bat soup. Like I have no clue. But I think all of our frustrations and angers, knowing that this is not fucking working, what we're doing to the planet, what we're doing to our animals, Amazon, like, anyway.
No, and thank you for sharing all that. I mean, it's a crazy time, but yeah, it kind of like needed to happen. I mean, not the way it happened, but we weren't doing anything about it, and we weren't getting the message, and we weren't getting the information. Like some of us were listening to it, but most of us weren't doing enough, you know, most of us, even the ones with good intentions, even the ones that knew it was wrong, and even those of us who were aware, you know. So yeah, we've been really forced to, but I think it's amazing that you're so comfortable with your family and your life and your gratitude for all of that it's
you know, also I've been doing a lot of like reflection just in general over the past year or two, like doing ketamine infusions, which is insanely empowering, like giving your brain a tune up, you know.
Never done that.
Ultimately what it is, it's a fact, scientifically proven, that it builds brain cells. And so like I've been doing that as well, and it has just changed like my mindset on everything, like prioritizing the most important things in your life. You know, one thing that's so great about this time right now is this whole money thing. Like it's really about, I know people are suffering and they need money, and we all need money, but at the same time it's like, wow, like the government is, you know, putting the homeless people up in like hotel rooms. I feel bad for those hotel rooms afterwards, but and at least sending some money to families. And a lot of people are coming together and supplying food and donations and charities and everything. Like me with the masks, there was like 1,000 seamstresses in just private homes that were contributing like 300 masks a day, like just making them with their sewing machines, you know. Like it just created such a beautiful thing to kind of like, money is at a pause too. Money and greed are just so disgusting, and this world has just become so gross. Okay, sorry.
It has. No, it's absolutely true. And so what does your family look like these days? So you talked about your gratitude for it, but what is you've got 2 boys now and a husband?
I have 2 boys. I have a son, Daxel, who's 6, and then I have a son named Venice, who's 3. And I have a husband named Adam, and we live in this beautiful castle. It's a landmark in Los Angeles called the Hollywood Castle, and it is the most epic place on the planet. It's got 360 views around all over Los Angeles. Hollywood sign and then all the way to downtown. You can even see the ocean from our house. It's right across, did I say that, from the Hollywood sign? And then also it's got the most legendary stories imaginable. You know, like Nicholas, oh my God, Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Nicola, what's his name?
Cage? No.
Not Cage. Damn it. The one that's always at the Laker games?
Oh,
Jack Nicholson.
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Jack Nicholson and like Lou Adler and all of them were like his besties. So they're all always here. Tom Petty's Great Wide Open was shot here. Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl was shot here. Prince Ice Cream Castles was shot here. Spinal Tap, the cult classic Spinal Tap was shot here. I mean, I'm literally in the princess room where Spinal Tap was recorded. Hold on, I'm gonna show you.
Oh yeah. Wow. It's a big movie set. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's the raddest. And then like knowing that it was supposed to be a huge ship like Noah's Ark, the original blueprints.
Okay.
And the city of Los Angeles finally granted the building permits. They're about to start building, and then they pull the permits because the masts were going to be too tall for the helicopters to go to like the observatory and the Hollywood sign. That they stopped. They said they couldn't make it a ship. We're talking 12,000 square feet. Like the house is huge.
Wow.
On a huge mountain on the top of a hill across from the Hollywood. Like Adam's dad was such a freak. I wish I met him. He died of cancer, but I really wish I met him. What a character. And so they decided last minute to just they knew contractors of Disneyland, and so they created the castle. It's made out of brick. It's fucking huge. It's the sickest. And like so many things are shot here. Music videos all the time. And I have my own disco.
I can imagine you use that, Lisa.
I do.
I just love it. I mean, it's like living in a adventure park in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super beautiful. You know, there's like a stream. The kids like have crawfish in it. I have a trampoline. There's a gazebo. I mean, are you kidding me? And Adam and I have a real like love story. It's not even like I don't know how I ended up here. It just happened, you know.
And you guys, you've been together for a long time now, haven't you, with Adam?
Yeah, we're going on 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years. Yeah. So my stories are just so much fun right now because like I'm having like a blast. Like I get to, everything is before this was so fast. I like literally couldn't catch my breath by the time I went to bed. And then when I got up in the morning, I couldn't catch my breath just thinking about the day. I'm like, ugh. I mean, even right before this, literally 2 weeks before this happened, China knocked off my product.
Oh, you're kidding.
And they even put their own son on the box.
Wow.
Look, meal box for children.
Wow.
There's nothing on it. And the reason it red flagged to me is because they sold it online and it was pink. I don't make pink.
Right.
That's mine.
Oh. There you go.
So like that's why I'm also enjoying this so much because everything's so fucked up before this.
Yeah.
I was dealing with all of it every day.
Yeah.
And now I get to like play with my kids and sit and be their homeschool teacher again. And I get to watch them learn and I don't feel rushed to do it like how I did it last time. You know, it's so fun. And we play games and we do Simon Says. And
the basic stuff, right?
You know, like it's so great. Right. Also, you know, when this all happened, it was really stressful. I'm not saying like as soon as it paused, like that was fucking stressful because Adam's mom had just gotten here with her boyfriend. And then my dad had just gotten an RV because I got him out of those facilities, you know, those 24-hour facilities where they take care of you. They were living in PB&Js like every meal.
Wow.
And I was like, what? You're paying $3,000 for a bed and they're giving you PB&Js? And he goes, yeah. And then I go in the kitchen and they yell at me and I'm like, oh my God, I need to get him out of here. That was his fourth one.
PB&Js, by the way, for anyone in Europe, are peanut butter and jelly, which is jam.
I was like, I need to get him out of here. So I talked to Adam and we got him the RV. And literally 2 days before this happened, we had just gotten his RV. And I had just literally like pulled him from the facility and was like, get in the car. And just randomly, this whole thing happened. And I'm like, Dad, somebody was looking out for you to put you with me, you know? And I had to feed him. And then April and Tom, Adam's mom, she's like a party animal, like crazy party animal. She went to the biggest nudist resort in all of the United States called El Caliente. And she had just gotten here too. She was partying like crazy. Actually, when we started quarantining, she kept like running out and going to parties. And we're like, no, this is not a joke. Like, you're going to die. Like, you're health compromised.
Oh my God.
I locked her up from partying. She's 77 years old.
Wow.
And then because I had everyone quarantined separately in my house, we had 6 quarantines. That's another thing, you guys. My husband's a doomsday prepper, so like we've been prepping for this for 6 years. Like if anybody is going to thrive at this time, it's us. Like we are built for this, you know.
Yeah.
So quarantines, me and my husband, we organized the 6 quarantines because we had the guest house people, Jeremiah and Dream. They ended up going to Arizona to his mom's house, but like they stayed there. And then Benji and Sarah in the dungeon, they had to quarantine. They came home from like a jacuzzi, like Big Bear weekend, and they tried to come up the stairs to just make a pizza. And I was like, no, you guys can't come up here. Like you have to stay down there for 14 days. They were like, this bitch is psycho. Like they had just jacuzzi bubbles. Like what is she talking about?
Yeah.
So I was like, boom, boom, boom. You know? Adam.
And when you say, you know, your husband was prepared for this, but obviously it was still a shock. How were you guys prepared for something like this? I know a little bit, but please tell everyone else.
Okay, so a lot of people are familiar too. We are on the Marriage Boot Camp. TV's the TV show Marriage Boot Camp, and the reason we went on there is because Adam is a doomsday prepper. So he was never a doomsday prepper, and then I ripped my face open, and I was pregnant when it happened, and I think that really traumatized him.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, like within that year, he started collecting things. And he was like, you know, getting signs that say, you know, nothing is worth your life in this house and posting them around the castle. And I was like, you know, like, and I'm like, what's happening right now? You know, like what's happening? And I think he just kind of went on overdrive with protecting because like him thinking that he almost lost me with my face.
Yeah.
There. And then finding out that I was pregnant and then that's now his family. And like, we had just gotten married. Like, I think something like loosened or tightened, like I have no idea in his brain. And it started escalating from there. And so then he got a Pinsgauer, which is an Army utility vehicle that he got from Florida to our house. And from there, it was like, had just come from overseas. To those of you that don't know, a Pinsgauer is a vehicle that literally can drive over anything at any time. Okay. It has a whole back part of it, like a truck. There's seats, and the seats like can move around. They can go down. They can go up. It can just be rails. You can just change all these different things around. It's like a transformer truck. Okay. And then it has like these like you can cover it with different things also, like hard parts and soft parts. And so I was like, whoa, what's happening? The reason we went on the thing that really got me to where like I was like, you know, we need to talk about this. Like it was really serious. Was I just had Daxel. So Daxel's now in my arms. I'm a new mom that is so exhausted. And I'm up all through the night to get our child. And I couldn't get, every door has a code. And lights turn on when you know the code.
Right.
So I literally am so exhausted. Think about like not sleeping for 3 months and like everything's changing around you security wise.
Oh my
And
God.
I literally was like crying because I didn't want to wake up Adam, but I'm standing there in the dark and I need my phone so I can get the light so that I can look at the thing. And I'm looking at like, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking die. Like, what is happening to my life? I just need a light switch. That's all I need.
Right.
You know? And so we had to talk about it. Ultimately, what happened is I need to respect that he wants to protect us.
Right.
And he needs to understand that that also can't dull my shine.
Right.
I can't, at the beginning, I would make fun of it and I'd be like, are you serious right now? You know, and now I just need to be like, okay, well, you know, I have to learn about it and say, okay, teach me how this works, you know, and just because the more I support him with it, then the more at ease he'll be with it too.
Right.
He won't come at it like harshly. He's more like, okay, well, you know, and then I just need and then he just needs to support me and understand that like he needs to trust that I'm making the safest decisions for myself in the moment, you know?
Yeah. Which that's what
yeah. And then also we had to learn, and at the same time, we learned each other's love language. So that like changed everything too.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I was doing all the things that he loves. I was doing all the things that I would like to somebody to do. And then he was doing everything that he wanted, what he would like. So it was funny. I like duty. I like when you like, you know, do the dishwasher, you know, like I like duty, like do things.
Yeah.
And he likes, so I was working my ass off. I was like making his favorite dishes. I was like, you know, the things I was doing was a lot and I didn't feel like he appreciated it. And but that's what I wanted. And then all he wants is like words of affirmation, like good job. I was working my ass off. All I had to do.
All you have to say was good job.
Right.
Yeah, that is one of the best books really ever, isn't it, for couples? It's absolutely brilliant. Well, so apart from doomsday preparation, I'm sure that's not maybe what you would look for in a person, but you've probably learned a lot from it. What are the things you would normally look for in a person, or you have looked for in Adam other than that?
I think ultimately the first thing, just because of like my upbringing, trust is a big thing. Like if I can't trust you, then I don't even want you in my life at all. Like I don't even want you as a friend, you know? So traits in men, especially if I'm considering dating them, like I have to know that I trust them. And that's so Adam. Like he's obviously like I knew what I was doing. Like he checked that off.
Yeah.
That's not something you can check off fast either. So he took time. And he's still that way. Like I can trust him with anything, everything. Yeah. Trust. Yeah. And then trust. Yeah. And then the second thing is obviously like your heart. Like in the end, like when you know somebody for a certain amount of time, you can kind of see where their reactions go. And you can tell that you can't fake those reactions of where their heart is in that situation really quickly. And you're like,
yeah.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I love that. And what about friends? What values do you look for in friends?
I think the same thing, trust, but also now, maybe that's not the first. Friends ultimately are the ones that you want to have fun with. So trouble with. Fun trouble, not bad trouble.
Yeah.
But, you know, mischievously, like fun things, you know, like pranks and stuff. Like I love pranks. I love pranks. And yeah, like friends are just, you know, pretty easygoing.
Yeah. So trustworthy and fun and easygoing and that like to, have pranks with each other. Sounds like good friends to me. What advice would you give somebody wanting to live their dream life?
Okay, well, it's happiness, really. What makes you happy? Because I love that like my work is from home, you know, like I do things that I'm proud of. be proud of what you do and how you do it, and keep the people around you that make you feel good and also respect and love you.
Yeah.
One thing that really like turned my head upside down is when I went on Celeb Rehab with Dr. Drew. He asked me similar questions, like, what do you think is happiness? And I remember at my, 27-year-old self, was like money, power, success, fame. And he's like, do you know that you're wrong? And I remember I was so mad. I was like, you can't tell me I'm wrong because you asked me what I thought, but you're wrong. And I'm like, okay, enlighten me. And he's like, the happiest people on the entire planet have the most amazing relationships with friends and family. Those are the happiest people.
Yeah.
And I was like, like flipped, like, it was like, yeah. I mean, I still think power would be so fun. Like I still just want power. And power not in the sense that it's even selfish. I want power to like do things good.
Yeah.
Flip people on their heads and be like, take that,
Yeah. And I love that because it's like money as well. People think like money relates to evil and things like that. And I think it's really amazing when I hear people like you say that they want money and they want power, because it doesn't have to be evil. It can be to do good. And why should all the people that are evil in the world have those things? Why shouldn't it be good people that have those things?
Yeah, and I didn't say money. I don't want money necessarily. I don't ever want money. I want work to prove myself in the sense of like, my talents, like, let me show you what I can do. I can make us money, I'm not give me money,
right?
Or I want money. In fact, I don't think money should, I fucking hate money. I think that the whole world should be on barter system with what you can contribute to each other and the world. Meaning, like, for instance, teachers, they are the most beautiful hearted, like hardworking souls on our entire planet. And we don't think that what they do deserves enough money. But yet, Mr. fucking deals diamonds, whatever, who cares? Great. Like, makes $8 trillion. That's a lot for a diamond dealer, but you know what I mean? Like, why can't we barter our talents with how much we think it's worth and go on that way? I wish we could get rid of money.
Yeah.
I still want power though.
For good. Power for good. Okay, you come across really confidently, so you have since I first met you, and it's quite infectious. Do you feel confident all the time?
I'm going to have to say yes, and I'm going to explain why.
Yeah.
I run a really tight ship. This house is 12,000 square feet. We don't have a staff. We're talking like 2 maniac children that have, okay, so listen to this side of it. I have 2 kids and we live in this huge property. These 2 kids are like little wizards in this house. Like, I don't know where they are. I don't know if Daxel is like all of a sudden down the side of the hill looking for treasure, that's far away from where I am. And then Venice, I don't know if he's stealing cookies from grandma's room that's like on the other wing, and he's going to make himself sick because he keeps doing that, And so I'm always like, where are, like, everything's so far. So it's a lot of work, just this house. And then, like oh my God, when this thing first started, I had to cook for my dad. I had to cook for April and Tom, take them to their different quarantines. And then I had to wash all the dishes each time and clean the kitchen because Benji and Sarah had to use that kitchen. So I had to sanitize it after each meal. And I was feeding like 10 people with everybody's different diet things. Oh my God, I'm dying. It's a lot of work. So I'm very precise. I can see everything flowing the way it needs to. And then obviously when the groceries come, it's so many groceries. And we know that nobody's going to do it right because we have the UV box. And so we put all the groceries in there. We turn them every time, lift it, turn them every time, all the groceries for the entire house. It's a lot of work. So yeah, I have to be confident in running this ship. Oh my God, it's funny. It's not a ship, it's a castle, but it was supposed to be.
It was a ship. That's amazing. And I love the way you mentioned at the beginning when we were first chatting about your sister and how that she kind of gave you that confidence in the beginning by sort of emulating her confidence. And that kind of brought that out of you as well.
Yeah.
Maybe just being in front of the camera since you were young as well. I mean, you've had to just.
Yeah, I learned it. My sister gave me the kickstart because I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then obviously it's just practice being in front of the camera constantly. You know, I went to Playhouse West. I went to Howard Fine. I booked this huge like play where I was the lead called Trina. This girl, like, do you remember Family Matters?
Yeah.
Like, the mom and the oldest brother were he was my boyfriend, and the mom played his mom too. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, all the practice of just, you know, going in that craft.
And what advice would you give to somebody else who hasn't found their inner confidence, someone who isn't living their dream and who kind of just hides in the shadows a bit? What kind of advice would you give to someone like that?
Jump into your fear. Do it today. Start today. Do something that scares you. We were just talking about this outside actually just yesterday with my mom-in-law. She told me that when she was in school and there was a speech, because her last name was Wells, she knew when the last section of the speakers were going to be, so she would just miss that day.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, because she was so scared. And I was like, April, that's so funny, because I felt that same fear of going in front, like, you know, second, third grade, you have to like talk about the whatever. And I would raise my hand first, even that young. I remember raising my hand first because I didn't want to keep feeling this way. I just wanted to get it over with, you know, and then no one could compare me to anybody because I went first. So I was like, you know, I went first every time. And I think that shows the difference of the feeling and acting differently, you know, just in general. So I am confident.
Go first. Go first.
I worked hard. I've thrown myself in fear for a long time.
Did you?
Yeah, I do everything that frightens the shit out of me.
Okay. So you do feel the fear, you just do it anyway, you push through it.
Yeah, and then it becomes fun.
Right. After a while. Who do you admire most and why? And I know that's probably a really hard question because everyone's got a lot of people, but who pops to your mind?
Ask me one more time. Who
do you admire most?
Who do I admire most? I admire so many people. Oh God, I admire Madonna just because she just keeps going. I just love her so much. Madonna has been my my little like feminist female goddess my entire life, you know. Never give a fuck, like so confident, and she's still doing her thing. I just love that. Lady Gaga, you know, these Italian medallions, man, we just win it, you know. Yeah, Lady Gaga is so badass. When she did the Super Bowl, I was like, yes. Who else? You know, I love like Obama. I think he's so cute. I love him. Elon Musk. Such a powerful, amazing force. Jane Fonda. I love that she just stands up for things and doesn't give a fuck. Like,
Bit of an activist.
Yeah, anybody who, you know, okay, this will be a good way to explain. When people have a platform, a huge platform, and they don't use it for anything because they want to be liked by everybody. They don't want to like lose customers, if you will, you know, ticket sales, because if they have an opinion, now they're dividing their audience. That drives me fucking mad. Yeah. I hate that. In fact, like when Taylor Swift first came out, you know, probably, I don't know, 4 albums deep, I was like, I love her music. She's so good, but she's driving me crazy. Like, she does not speak up. You have a platform, help change our world for the better, for our kids, for our future, for these animals, for our planet. Like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
That's nuts. So, you know, like, even Lady Gaga, even Madonna have done that. Like, Elon Musk does that. I just use your platform. And then she came out. She felt comfortable to do it. And then she even spoke about how she wished she had done it earlier. You know, she just wasn't mature enough. She's listening to everybody. I'm like, thank God. I really like her music.
Yeah, she found her voice. Found her voice and she had an opinion, not just her singing voice.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. What would you say is your biggest strength and your biggest weakness? Another tough question.
That is, it's kind of an easy question. I think my best quality is I do get told a lot that I just like bring so much joy to people, like sunshine. I love that. But I think ultimately, internally, what I think is my best quality is my heart. My heart is so, they say that the people who have felt the most pain, like in life, you know, and I think that's so many of us at this point, the way the world has been like the last decade, feel this way. But like the deeper, like the pain, like the more room you have for love. Like I just have so much love for what could happen for this world, hopefully, you know. I have a lot of hope. That's love, you know. But then also, my heart is also my biggest downfall because this world is gross. And there's a lot of people that are takers and have been in my life. It's really disappointing. Yeah, when you see true colors and you're like, wow, how could you do that? You know, that's happened more than I'd like the past couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you say that. It happens to everyone in different ways and different scales, but it happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that you've not let that dull your shine, like you're saying, or dull your heart, and that's all you can do, isn't it? Is just keep showing up.
Keep showing up.
Loving anyway. So, what's the best piece of advice that anyone has ever given you?
That's a good question. My dad, he says the cutest things. One thing that I think has been, I just took his advice. I just did it because there was no other option at the time. And I realize now that like the more I just kept doing that, it obviously got me through a lot. Is my dad always said, like, if you're tired, work. If you're sick, work. If like in way, not like work yourself death, you know, like always be proactive, you know. If you're heartbroken, work. If you know, everything is work, no matter what. And I think when you know, I've been on my own since I was 15, 16 years old as well. And I had 3 jobs, waitressing jobs. I was a swim instructor. I was a nanny. I was going to castings. I was just slaving and like nothing was working out, nothing. And, you know, I remember crying to my dad and he's like, well, get up, work, just keep doing it. Like, you know, do the little extras at the waitressing job for your tables. Like if that helped, like if you need to pay this off, then work. Ask if you need to work extra hours, you know, nanny. And I think ultimately just constantly trying to like not settle in your thoughts and just constantly trying to be proactive to kind of be just the most healthiest distraction you could possibly have, you know, for up here. So I always just did that. And I would get, you know, if I'm fucking sad, like I'm not going to let myself be sad. You know?
Do you let yourself feel it before you go back to work or do you just like go?
I think you just kind of like machine through it. you know? I think also I deflect in a lot of, like if I'm internally sad, like I might be extra happy at work, you know, and it's my way to deflect. But it does raise your spirits, you know. I don't think I do it to be fake. I'm doing it more to be like, I got this, I can do this. And it does bring on, it brings on my shine still, you know, like I laugh more and smile that day naturally.
Right.
You know, and it makes people happy too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that also then in return makes you happier. So it's a win-win there, isn't it? Like, I think a lot of people now sort of like, it's like a lot of the opposite kind of effect. Like it's like sit and feel, and I'm all for those moments when people need to feel back into their pain and their stuff they've been through and their traumas. But I love what you're saying about sometimes it's just about getting on with things. And what you're kind of saying to me is like not sitting in the victimhood of it as well. You know, like just get on and just move, and you're the one in control of your life, and you're the one that can turn things around, and don't complain, just do it.
But it's also not good to like, you know, sweep it under the rug too. Like I've had a lot of therapy that has gotten me to the place I'm at now too. You know, people need therapy.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know what I would do without it. Yeah. And even if, you know, I know a lot of people just don't even like to think about, oh, I don't need therapy, you know, I'm fine, I don't need therapy. And it's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you're probably going to continue living your life in these patterns of the way that your life has rolled out for you. And you won't be able to open your mind to a different perspective and way of thinking. And now this scenario, you know, I really just want people to open their minds. If they don't want to do therapy and like talk to somebody, like go get a ketamine treatment, you know, an infusion. It's literally like pushes through all those neural pathways in your brain, and it opens up your mind, and it makes you really prioritize like what's important in life. And it also helps you think, because now you're enlightened and your brain's functioning again like it should, because you gave it a tune-up. We give our cars a tune-up, but we don't give our brains one. Isn't that weird? Doesn't that sound silly? It sounds so silly. Like if you want your nails done, you go to a nail technician. If you want to buy a new car, you go to a car dealership. That's where you're going to find out everything about that car. But yet we live our entire lives between our ears and we don't even take care of it. Does that even make sense? Anyway, we all need to like change our brains, rewire them a bit so that we can like future proof this planet together, because we are all one.
Yeah, I love that. Very good advice for people.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to, there's a few questions, like just a couple of questions left really. So you had an accident where you really hurt your face. I remember when I first saw the photos, I was shocked and stunned. I thought you'd gone through a windscreen or something horrendous. Only to read that you've been doing a handstand, which when you nearly said that makes sense.
It wasn't
Okay, tell us what happened, and then tell us, like, I know people that I've been friends with in life who have had really bad injuries on their face, and it has really, really affected them so bad. I mean, not nearly as bad as what you went through, and the trauma that was associated with having those scars on their face was just so huge. So how did you find the strength to get through that scary time?
Pretty good, right?
I've got scars on my face too, so.
Well, I mean, they're not bad. Like they look pretty good.
I can't see anything, to be honest. Not from here.
So I was on a movie set, and it was the last day of me shooting Cowboys and Indians, and it was in Colorado, and it was in the snow. And so I was playing a stripper. I'm like the best friend of the main stripper. It's just one scene, so it is the main character's life who's my best friend in the movie. But anyway, we were doing pole moves, and I'm a gymnast. So I was doing we were doing this one move where everybody's done it, you know, where I'm going to try to explain it like this. Okay, so you're back to back. You put your arms in my arms, and then you get flipped over.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
We did that, and so we were practicing it again in the hallway of the hotel, like all of us just doing that move in the hallways, like we were wrapped, right? And the boom girl on the movie, which is funny because she was the boom girl in the movie, but then she also wanted to do that move with me.
Okay.
She did the big boom, and so I'm hanging over her like this, like she has me, right? So my feet are like going, my head's here, but looking up. And I'm about to flip over, right?
Uh-huh.
She loses her balance and she starts going backwards. So then I fall on my face, but then after I fell on my face, she landed on the back of my head. We're talking about like $170. It was like Brillo pad carpet in the hotel room. And I remember getting up. And I just looked down in the boots I was wearing, like there was just so much blood on them already. And then I put my hand down and my whole hand was covered in blood. And I was like standing there by myself, but hearing people run to me. And the girl went in her hotel room and hid. She left me there.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I think she probably did that because she saw me and probably saw my face, and because it was a movie and she was the boom girl, she probably didn't want like liability or something.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. She freaked out though, but luckily Adam was walking way ahead of me with our friend Frank, and they ran because they heard it.
Wow.
And so Adam watched me with my nose hanging off of my face. Nobody let me see what I saw. Nobody let me see what I looked like what I looked like at the time.
Right.
The only time I ever saw my face was after the surgery was done.
Mm-hmm.
But he had to look at me that whole time. Do you know that they held him from when we were in the hospital? They wouldn't let him come in to see me because they thought it was like domestic violence.
Oh no.
And they're like, what happened? And I'm like, this girl like dropped me on my face, and she's like, are you sure about that? And I was like, what? Like my nose like hanging off.
Oh my God.
If there was any domestic dispute, it'd be him in here, not me.
Oh my God. And so how did you get through that? Like, how did you have the positivity to keep sharing photos of you going through that? Like, know that you were going to come through it, okay? And I career as well.
I think that, okay, so this is how it went down. Like, I'm going to just tell, it's all here. We're here. I'm telling you. Okay, so when I got to the hospital, they realized that I needed emergency plastic surgery. They wanted to give me a, what is it called? They thought that I had a concussion.
Okay.
They were deciding if they were going to give me the concussion procedures or not. And they asked me if my neck hurt. No. And I think ultimately, I'm a gymnast and I'm really flexible anyway. So nothing really like, I'm already like Gumby. So right. Thank God. But then they rushed me to a plastic surgeon that was 2 hours away in the car, in the ambulance. And so I get to this other place, Durango, Colorado. And he just starts performing plastic surgery on me, like immediately. And I still hadn't seen my face. We're talking like hours and hours now have passed. And he didn't give me more medicine. It was literally like I could feel everything. They didn't put me under because they thought I had a concussion. In case I had a concussion, the chances of you waking up are like slims. So I was awake, and I just remember the whole plastic surgery. He was literally like sewing together little tiny pieces of cartilage together and weaving it into the skin. That was, oh my God, crazy, right?
Mm.
And then I'm just waiting in the room. He did that. I felt like it was like 4 hours, waterfalls out of my eyes for like 4 hours, feeling all of this. God. And I'm in holding by myself. I grab my phone finally, and I'm like, holy shit. Like I look like a burnt marshmallow. Like my eyes were like, I could barely see through them, like they were, and I just started laughing hysterically. I'm like, oh my God. Like I was like, my face wasn't even moving. And I just, there was nothing you can do at that point. Like that was the picture. I took a picture, I put it on Instagram while I was waiting for Adam to come pick me up. And I was like, hey guys, this is me now. This is it. I made a joke too. I made a joke in it too. I thought it was pretty funny. I don't remember what it was, but. And I think that I just felt really lucky that nothing, like I didn't die, The only thing you can do is you have no other option but to like laugh about it. Oh, I think the first thing I did too after that is my best friend Blanca, I sent her a picture of my face, and I texted it to her. That's all I did. And she's like, oh my God, that looks great. She goes, oh my God, that looks great. And I was like, what? And she goes, that's makeup, right? And I was like, no. So realizing that she laughed at it first, I was like, no, I just got emergency plastic surgery. And that's when she called me and she's like, what the fuck? Like, then she got worried. But it turns out that I was pregnant.
Oh God, at the same time.
Isn't that crazy? So if they had put me under, I wouldn't have had Daxel. So that's kind of, silver lining. I got my baby still.
Absolutely. It's so cute. I've seen so many photos.
And I got a better nose. So.
It's all good. But your humor and your positivity is quite remarkable. Okay. So are there any other dreams that you have yet to fulfill?
Yeah, there's quite a few. I'd love to do more music, not necessarily for anything other than just to do it for myself. It's so fun for me creatively. And then this house is so magnificent. And now the normal daily bustle of things just being so busy, Adam doesn't get the time to take care of this house that his dad built for the family. And so things kind of they just cluster, He never has time. So I'm watching him fix, the lion's tail, or he's mixing cement. They're putting the gazebo, all the lights back up. So they do a lot of productions here. And, that means that they do their own lighting. So anytime that they put things back, it's never back like the way it should be, so the lights are always turned off, or like now those lights are broken, and sometimes you don't see things because you do the walkthroughs, but how everyone's exhausted when you do the walkthroughs. Adam always wants them to come back the next morning when it's light in the whole house, in the yard, so we can really look at everything. But sometimes people are from other countries and they have to check out and blah, 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 it's insane. So being able for all of us to kind of come together and make this house bring it back to its glory days. I'd love to just have a show. There's so many characters. And then with that money, Adam could bring this place back up to the most pristine. It's so beautiful and it's magical and it has all the fairy dust on the entire planet. It's still just, I would like to give that back to the family,
Yeah.
Not about anything other, that's my intentions. Is, something like that.
And the happiness it's brought so many people, isn't it? That's really.
Yeah, and it's a legendary house. The characters too, April, oh my God. She is a riot. Just the characters in here, Benji and Sarah too, He's an Emmy award-winning cinematographer. And then Sarah's like a celebrity makeup artist. You can't write this shit. The mother-in-law is a nudist swinger. What? My husband's a Tuesday prepper. I'm Lisa from Top Model. It doesn't get any better.
No, I mean, I can't believe no one snapped you up already. It's insane.
But there's shows about fishing.
Right.
Fishing? Really? Okay. I got my own show on Oxygen Channel, but they pulled it right before it was greenlit because they cleaned house. So anytime they clean house, all the executive producer shows get pulled.
Right.
And then what went in my place was Audrey O'Day's show. I don't know, in my personal opinion, but Only lasted a season.
And how does that even make sense? I mean, in this climate when everyone's in quarantine anyway, you guys all live together anyway. I mean, it's like the perfect opportunity, really, no?
This legendary house, the landmark, the Hollywood Castle. I mean, hello. It's almost like, whoa, world, wake up.
Right, exactly.
It's time to wake up. I'm the best show in the world. Oh, so annoying.
Well, maybe someone will wake up. Okay, last question. What does it mean to you to shine from inside?
I think shining from inside is really just being able to be your true, authentic self. I've learned through my career and just being on American television reality shows, which I think ultimately is like putting your life in a pinball machine, is that the majority of my, like all my haters, actually, I'd say like 90% of my haters are just people that admire and are jealous of my freedom. Like it's a jealousy that they wish that they could. And that makes me really sad to think that there's so many people out there that feel like because of their life, the people in it, because of the city or the town that they live in, or their grandparents or religion or anything, that they don't get to be themselves. Like that is the saddest thing for me. And the thing that even makes it worse is like, all I would ever want is to inspire you to be able to do it too. But you hate me. That's so sad to me. Like I'm trying, I feel bad that I don't feel that I can't be myself. Like I've always felt like I could be myself. That makes me sad that you don't get to be that, you know? Mm-hmm. How can I help? You know, like all I can do is be my authentic self and hope that, you know, and everyone, a lot of people go, I want to be just like you. And I'm like, I never want you to be just like me. I don't want anyone to be just like me. I want you to be you, like everything that you're supposed to be, like keen to the top. Like I want you to reach all of your most amazing levels that you have potential for, you know? So that makes me so sad. Like when people are living years, like decades out of their life and don't feel like they've ever been themselves. How devastating.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And do you think that people hold themselves back in that way? Do you think it's like circumstance dictates your future, or do you think that people dictate their own future? Like,
I think that you can get in a rhythm in your head, like what I say about like getting a tune up for your brain. Like you can't reach your 100% full potential if you are reacting to different situations and reacting the same way to each of them, which is ultimately holding you back because you're still seeing things unfolding before you give it a chance to react differently. You know, it's like it's like telling my dad, like, hey dad, how are you today? You know, and it's like, that's just a reaction. He didn't even think about how today was going to be, you know, like it's premeditative. It's subconsciously, like you need to change things right between here, change your life, you know? Yeah. So I just want everyone to be able, and that's another thing, like if you really feel like you can't be yourself because of other things in your life that are, you know, obviously playing a huge role in how you're living your life, the only way to even change them or that is to start exposing them to looking at things differently also, you know? It's like, if you aren't going to be part of the change, then you're actually a part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
So get in the lane, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, and I think even the fact that if people are looking at you and feeling anything negative by you being you, then that shows that that's kind of what they're attracting in themselves. Like the people that see something in you and are happy for you and love that about you are probably not blocking themselves off.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So kind of you get what you, yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you for
You're
joining.
welcome. That was great conversation.
It was really interesting. I could keep going for longer, but I'll let you go.
I freaking love you and miss you. You're radiant. You look exactly the same.
It's been so long.
I know. Are you enjoying your quarantine?
Yeah, actually, I don't have a problem with it at all. Like, I mean, I'm devastated by what's happening to the world, and I'm devastated what's happening to people's jobs and, you know, people that are in danger. But for myself, it's like I got ill for a while, so I had to get used to staying home quite a lot for that period. So I kind of went through that nightmare then. And like now I feel like I've practiced for years and I'm all good. Like I can stay home with no problem. I make sure my home is my sanctuary, wherever that may be. And even like I said to you at the beginning, this isn't my home I'm staying in, but I actually, you know, it doesn't matter. I bring the things with me and the things that matter to me. And yeah, I'm quite comfortable anywhere really. So yeah, I'm good. Good.
Great.
And I love Amsterdam. You have to come here once you can travel. It's so fun.
I can't wait to travel like so many others. Because my husband's a doomsday prepper, I'll probably be locked in this house for 3 months.
Probably.
Luckily, though, you know, all of our businesses are managed. The smoke shop is doorside service, curbside, I mean. And
is it?
Yeah. Lights.
Where is that shop, your smoke shop?
Sorry?
Where is your smoke shop?
It's in Arizona. It's in Kingman, Arizona. It's called Up in the Smoke Shop. So we're doing our thing. Adam has the UV lights that go through the whole air system that blows out. So like cleans it from any viruses. So the employees feel super protected. Everyone's got the, you know, N95s at our shop. So we're doing the deed. No one could come in the store, which I kind of like because then we don't have to worry about that. Our city, in the city of our store, we have amazing like security like cameras and all that, but kind of what they aren't in the store.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in another city with weed stores now, so yeah, they're all open.
People need it for mental stability.
Yeah, I believe the sales have gone up quite considerably. Alcohol, weed, lots of other stuff. Oils, everything.
Okay, love you.
All right, mwah. Lots of love to you.
Great chat. Okay.
Really good chat. Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Have a lovely Mother's Day. Bye-bye.
Bye.